Hello, fellow duelists. This is Shadow of the Moon, and today I'm going to be showing you an updated deck profile of my Red Eyes Black Dragon deck for April of 2022. Now, this deck was already ready to go and pre-built before I went on hiatus, so now that I'm back, I can actually finally showcase it, and this deck is a lot of fun. Sadly, it doesn't have as much support, obviously, as Blue Eyes White Dragon and Dark Magician, but this is my personal favorite deck out of all three of them. And I think it does hold its own quite well, actually. It does turbo out a lot of level 7s, which will help you go into your multiple copies of your Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, or go into your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Now, if you do not have Dark Dragoon, because I know how pricey it is and expensive it is, that is completely okay. You can either replace that with a Red Eyes Slash Dragon, or you can replace it with the Red Eyes Comet Dragon that does more burn damage. So now, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get straight on into it. So first, we've got 3 copies of Red Eyes Black Dragon. This is the main monster of the deck. Ferocious Dragon with a deadly attack, whereas Blue Eyes was as the dragon of strength and power. This was the dragon of potential. If you remember, this is why it's one of my favorites out of all 3 of them. I love Red Eyes Black Dragon. Just kind of wish we got a little bit more support for it, but it is what it is right now. And then 1 copy of your Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon. This is if you tribute a Red Eyes monster on your side of the field or in your hand, you can special summon this card from your hand. So this makes it very useful, and it counts towards one of the Red Eyes monsters. Then you have your Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon. This is going to count towards a Red Eyes monster. This is bringing it up to 5. And this is a Gemini, so it is a normal monster when it is in your graveyard or your hand or whatever, and in the deck, or in the graveyard in your hand, and then this can become a actual effect monster that does burning damage, that does 2400 burning damage when it is summoned that way. And then 3 copies of your Blackstone of Legend. I personally love running 3 Blackstone of Legends in this deck. Essentially, you tribute this card to special summon a Red Eyes Black Dragon from your deck. So that's going to turbo out Red Eyes to be able to go into your Link Spider, and then Link Spider will be able to go into using another monster, Verite Anaconda, to bring out Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Also, if you have a Red Eyes Black Dragon in your graveyard, you can shuffle it back into the deck to add this card back from your graveyard to your hand, but you can only activate one of the effects once per turn. And then you've got 3 copies of Black Metal Dragon. Black Metal Dragon is going to equip to a black Red Eyes monster and everything, and will also help it increase its attack power. And then it gains 600 attack, and if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a Red Eyes monster card from your deck to your hand. So this is going to help you give you a lot of fuel. Alright, so that's going to be it for the Red Eyes monsters, and now let's move on to the tech cards that really makes this deck shine. And that is first, you've got your 3 copies of Tenyai Spirit Vishuda. Vishuda, if you control no effect monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. So that is amazing. That's another level 7 to help turbo out. And then 3 copies of your Noctovision Dragon. Noctovision Dragon is another level 7 that if a Dark Dragon is special summoned to your side of the field, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also, if this card is sent to the graveyard as link material, you can draw a card. You activate one of the effects once per turn. So the idea is to get out your Red Eyes Black Dragon, and then special summon that way, you can special summon this card from your hand. Alright, and then for the Danger Engine, because I included the Danger Engine to speed things up a little bit, we have 3 copies of Danger Nessie. Danger Nessie works just like any other Danger card. If they do not pick this card, it's random. If they do not pick it, this card gets special summoned, and you get to draw a card. If they do pick it, and this card is discarded to the graveyard, you can add another Danger monster from your deck to your hand, except for Danger Nessie. So since it's a level 7, it does really, really help out with the deck to be able to turbo these monsters out onto the field. And then we've got 2 copies of Danger Dogman. Does the exact same thing. If it is discarded, you get to add a Danger monster from your deck to your hand, except Danger Dogman, and if it isn't discarded, then you get to special summon it. Alright, and then lastly, for the Dragoon, we're going to be running 1 copy of Dark Magician. This is the starter deck Yugi, as you can see. I always prefer that one, because since it's classic, I love the Purple Magician and everything, like the outline of it and stuff. It's just very, very classic and very cool. If you do not have Dark Dragoon, that can be replaced with Red Eyes, the Iron Knight, or Red Eyes, like the equivalent to it, the Red Eyes monster version of it, or it can be replaced with that Meteor Dragon that's a level 6 that has an effect monster. I'm not exactly sure I remember what the effect is or what the name of it fully is. It's like a Red Eyes Impact Dragon or something. You can replace it with that too, because it does work, and then that way you can bring out the Comet Dragon that way. So that's going to be it for the monsters. Let's move on to the spells. So now we have 3 copies of Red Eyes Insight. You send a Red Eyes monster from your hand deck to the graveyard, and add 1 Red Eye spell and trap from your deck to your hand. So you can only activate it once per turn. This is mainly going to help you get Red Eyes Fusion out on the field, or to be able to help you get the 2 trap cards that I have in this deck, which is Red Eyes Chain, or get out Return of the Red Eyes. Okay, and then we run 1 copy of Red Eyes Fusion, because honestly, you only do need 1 in the deck. This is something that you generally want to draw into. You don't want to have this in your opening hand per se, because you want to be able to get all the other monsters out on the field, because you cannot special summon the same turn that you activate this card, so you would have to set the monster. So the idea is to get this, use Verite, and then be able to dump this into the graveyard with its materials to special summon your Dragoon. Alright, and then we run 3 copies of Allure of Darkness, because you run nothing but dark monsters in this deck, so this is a great way to be able to draw 2 cards and then just banish 1 of the dark monsters from your hand. And then 3 copies of Return of the Dragon Lords. Return of the Dragon Lords is you target a level 7 or 8 dragon monster in your graveyard to special summon it to your side of the field. And then if the card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can remove this card from the graveyard instead. So it's a good way to be able to protect the monster, and it's a great way to special summon it back from the graveyard. And then we run 2 copies of Super Poly, because I am still running the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, and I'm also running the Mud Dragon of the Swamp. So this is a great way. This is also a good way to steal your opponent's monsters along with yours, to be able to go into. That way you stop their play if they start getting a little bit too much gas. And then the card Piercing the Darkness that came out in the Mega Tin pack, I have 2 of these in here. So essentially what this is the continuous spell card, and if you normal special summon a non-token normal monster, meaning Red Eyes Black Dragon, except during the damage step, you can draw a card. It gives you an extra draw power, and then on top of that, when an attack is declared involving an opponent's monster and a monster you control that is level 5 or higher normal monster, meaning Red Eyes obviously, or ritual summon using a normal monster, or fusion, synchro, or exceed using a normal monster, you can make that monster gain attack equal to the opponent's monster's attack until the end phase of the turn. That is insane, because it allows you to gain extra attack, that making it ridiculous. And pretty much, since you are going to be normal summoning in this deck, you special summoning normal summoning the Red Eyes, which is a normal monster, you'll be able to get that effect and draw a card. So it works really, really well with the deck. Also works really well if you have a Dark Magician deck too, because you're using Dark Magician, which is a level 7 as well. And then 1 copy of Monster Reborn. This is going to help bring back your monsters from the graveyard. And then that's it for the spells. Let's move on to the traps. So I'm only running 2 in this deck. If you wanted to run Red Eye Spirit, you can. I'm only running 2 because this is going to equip to your monster and give them attack power, and this is going to allow you to special summon Red Eyes from your graveyard. Since it's continuous, it also works really, really well with it too. So that's going to be it for the main deck. Let's move on to the extra deck. And I did add some few things to it. So obviously, you've got your Red Eyes Dragoon. He doesn't need any introduction. You know what he does by now. He can negate. He makes himself 4,000 when he does it, and then he can destroy cards on the field. And then 1 copy of Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. This is going to be one of your main targets for Super Poly. You got your Mud Dragon of the Swamp, also another target for Super Poly, and also more of a budget option. And then 3 copies of one of the main cards in this deck, Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. This is going to burn. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects if it has Exceed material, and you can detach an Exceed material to be able to special summon basically a Red Eyes monster from your graveyard. Also, what makes this deck incredible and what makes this card very, very good is that the fact that you can, every single time your opponent so much as breathe, if they activate a card or effect, you do 500 points of damage to them, burn. So what's going to help you is if you have 2 or 3 of these on the field, you're going to be doing 1,000 to 1,500 damage per card. So they're going to be really, really sweating it, and they're going to make sure, oh, I better not activate too many effects. And yeah, it's really going to mess them up. I love this card because of that, because it's just so bad, because it's being able to burn your opponent for damage. Yes, he's easily gotten rid of, but I mean, in the meantime, they're going to take about probably 3,000-4,000 damage before they get rid of it. Alright, so then we have your Big Eye that's going to take control of your opponent's monster. You've got the new Volo Ferngis, the Darkest Dragon Doom Rider. And what this guy does is once per turn, you can attach 2 materials from this card, then target a face-up card on the field, destroy it, and if you destroyed a monster, you can make a face-up monster you control gain attack equal to the destroyed monster's original level rank times 300 until the end phase of the turn. This card cannot attack the turn that you activate this effect. This is a quick effect. If this card has a dragon monster as a material, you cannot cannot be activated in the damage step. So the idea essentially is going to be able to destroy a monster on the field and make the monster gain attack equal to it. So it really does help. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of rank 7s in this deck for that exact reason, because you're going to be doing a lot of plays. You're going to be going to a lot of your rank 7. That's why it's more of like it's a Red Eyes Turbo deck. And then you've got 1 copy of your Draco Masters of the Tenyai. So it's going to require 3 materials and cannot be destroyed by battle with an effect monster. If you control no other effect monsters, you can destroy effect monsters your opponent controls up to the number of non-effect monsters. So if you have other Red Eyes on the field, you can basically destroy up to a number of cards depending on the number of cards Red Eye non-effect monsters that you have. And then 1 Nightmare Unicorn to spin stuff, 1 Nightmare Phoenix to pop spell and traps, 1 Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres, 1 Predapant Verite Anaconda. Like I said before, this is what's going to help you go into your plays. If you have DPE, you can use DP in this deck too, because honestly that's going to be like a tech card that works really well with it too. And then you've got Link Spider, which is going to help you go into your Verite Anaconda by using a Red Eyes monster as material. You go into Link Spider, and then your other effect monsters will be able to go into Verite Anaconda, and then Link Karibo for your level 1s to be able to give you a little bit of extra protection. Alright, so that's going to be it for this deck profile. I'm really glad to finally be showing it off. Like I said, deck was ready to go beforehand. I just was waiting on an opportunity to be able to showcase it and everything after I got back on hiatus. And this deck is just a lot of fun because of how so much potential it is. Just like Red Eyes Black Dragon have so much potential. It's just kind of sad to see that we don't have a whole lot of support for it. If you notice, like with the new sets coming out with Battle of Chaos and stuff, this actually did give you a lot of Blue Eyes and Dark Magician support like they needed it anymore. And as a result, Red Eyes, I think, is getting 1 card, but honestly that's not going to be enough to really benefit it that often, or benefit it that much. Alright, so that's going to be it for this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching it. And with that, see you guys next time.